Maseches Bo Metzia Daf Chavdal Amud Beis. May Hashem give us the zchus to continue the shiurim through the entire year, and everybody should be able to be here each and every day, each and every shiur with no teardas. With say amen, on time, on time. I will talk today. I'll finish the shiur today 10 minutes earlier, and okay, I'll talk later, not now. Okay, you can leave at 9:15 if you don't hear my mussar. Then you can quickly make a quick escape. Now the shir is lefuas. Yidis basrif kapnin chabas gul aroch lior Ruven Yaakov and God Esther Gabriela batzor Chana batzia matamor basnomi beilazis nindar bat yad tzviat ben Denis Shalom Yosef ben Hina Yaakov Efraim ben Soro Lilunishma Sor Bimer Menachem ben Akiva Rus bas Shalom Sor bas Moshe Viboy Sema Chafei Amud Beis excuse me Amud Beis in the top of the page. We're very much in the middle of a sugya. If it says Viboy Sema, that it's an alternative answer to which question? Remember, the Machlokes from yesterday, Reb Shimon ben Elazar told us yesterday, I mean, he tells us every day, we saw it yesterday, that if a person finds a Metzia in a very busy, crowded place, in a real Rishus Harabim, think, when I was going to say Times Square, but it's not so simple. Times Square, I assume many people are Jewish there, but most are Goyim, actually, I don't know. Roiv Goyim, I assume, yeah? So Mimela, now, if you find something in a place that is, Rishus Harabim, but the real Srat Flat, you're very busy, where it's more likely that you find that the people finding the Metzia would be thieves, would not be honest people, then says Reb Shimon and Elazar, I think that you don't have to return it. Why? Because the person is miyash. The person gave up hope because he knows there are all kinds of genovim there. Who knows who's going to find it? Why was he hesitant about Times Square? Because the Gemara had a few questions about Reb Shimon Elazar's ruling. One question was, did Reb Shimon Elazar only speak about a place where a majority are goyim? And we assume that because the person who lost it, let's say I know it fell from a Jew. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an issue. I don't have to return to goyim. If I know that, this is Tokyo or even Toronto, it's not mostly Jewish, but I saw that it fell from a Yid. I don't know who the Yid is, right? There's a bunch of Yid in there that look like very Jewish. And I say, oh, it fell from a Jew. I don't know who from. Shall I, start looking and searching? Well, says Reb Shimon Elazar, no, because the person who lost it knows that most people are going, and he assumes the Goy would find it, so he gave up hope. That's for sure, Reb Shimon Elazar, that's for sure. Would Reb Shimon Elazar also say what he said also when it comes to Yidden? Let's say you find it not in the middle of Boston or Baltimore, you find it in the middle of Bnei Brak, where most people are Jewish. I think all, except for the Filipino workers of the old people, Mistom, everyone's Jewish over there. Okay, it's safer. So then you found it in such a place. Well, maybe their people, the one who lost it, would trust the Bnei Brakers to give it back, right? That's a question. No, maybe Reb Shimon Elazar, believes that people lost the object and also lost hope, even when it comes to a place where most people are Jewish. That's a question. Also, we had a question, what about Chachamim? Do they disagree? And if they disagree, do they disagree in both Goyim and Eden or only in Goyim? Yeah, that's the only in Eden, excuse me. That's a question. Then we brought the Mishnah. The Mishnah said outright, if you found a Metzia in a city, if the majority are Goyim, give it back, don't give it back. Majority are Jewish, then do give it back. No. So here you see a clear ayah that Reb Shimon ben Elazar really holds that, yes, if it's majority Goyim, you don't return. Majority Jews, you do return, even if it's in a busy place. The Gemara answered what it answered. We're not going back then. The boy say, oh, now we're good to go. The boy say, another alternative answer to explain the Mishnah in Machshirin, which we saw. The Mishnah said majority Goyim don't give back, majority Jews you do. Lo'elam Rabbanon, really, you should know, could be that the authors of that Mishnah that told you that that if majority are going, you don't give it back, are Rabbanon. How come? How could you say it's Rabbanon? Yeah. Do you want to tell me that Rabbanon really agreed to Reb Shimon ben Elazar that when most people are going, you don't return? Because that was one of our questions. Is that so? And continues Gemara, no. There's a middle road, something very interesting. Miktani hen shaloi. Did we say in the Mishnah, read carefully the Mishnah we say, did we say in the Mishnah that that item you found in the middle of Tokyo is yours and you can take it and enjoy it? You can take it home and do whatever you want. You can take that cup, take it to the mikveh and enjoy the cup. No. It says you don't have to announce it. Very, very interesting. If the majority are goyim, then it's as if Chachomim are not sure if they agree to Reb Shimon and Lozer. Reb Shimon and Lozer for sure would say, if you found an item, you found a nice little cup in the middle of Tokyo, then what? You don't have to return it, you take it to yourself. Say Chachomim, we are like hesitant. We believe in not exactly a Moitzim Chavero, we believe in leaving things as they are. You can take it with you, yeah. Don't use it, don't enjoy it, don't be in the hand with it yourself. Yaniach, leave it in your house. Means you don't have to announce. Because majority are going and minority are Jews, you choishish to the miut and you say, okay, I'll take it home, but I don't have to announce and be machriz. Continues the Gemara, the Yesi soil. If Israel would come to my house, somehow, if he's lucky enough to know that I found it, he'll give me a siman, he'll identify it, the shakil, then he'll take it. I don't know how realistic that is that it would happen, but the etzem, the halacha says we sort of do it halfway. We go halfway according to Chachomim. The majority are going, you don't return it, you don't start announcing, but you don't benefit, you don't take it for yourself. You take it home, and if somebody comes, you put it in a secure place so other people won't take it. So it's in your house, it's in a safe place, safe haven. If he wants to come, let him come. I don't have the chiyuv to start announcing. By the way, 1 second, please. Which means it's very interesting. Normally, when you find an Aveda, there are like 2 or even 3 Averas mitzvahs that are connected to it. One is Lo Tuchal Salim. You have to take it, and you're not allowed to ignore it. You also have to announce it. And also prohibition of Gezel. You just can't take it for yourself. You're just stealing. Here, we say something interesting. There's no heter to steal it, because we're still concerned. Still, yeah. On the other hand, we say to announce it, the chiyuv, to go out of my way and announce, for that we don't say. That's like the middle of the road. Yes, Rabbi? Toshma, Doma Ravasi. We're still trying to figure out the question, what do we mean when we said, according to Shimon Lazar, that the majority, if there's roiv, a lot of people around, you don't have to announce if you found it in a very busy place. Matzachovis yain. Oh, somebody found a barrel of wine. Here there are 2 questions. What are the 2 questions that come to mind when you're a religious Jew and you found a barrel of wine? You didn't find a baseball cap, with the Japanese writing on it. You found a chovis yain. First question is, ben adam la chavero, Yom Kippur. One question is, maybe it belongs to someone. How can I just take it? Maybe I have to announce. Second question, who says it's kosher wine? Maybe Rav Simkin did not give it extra, so it's not kosher. Oh, what's a chovis yain? If a person found a barrel of wine, be'ir shuru b'knainim, and the majority of the people there are knainim. Okay, you found wine in a goyish city. You find a wine where? You find it in Zurich. Muteres mishum Metzia. You're allowed to take it because of Metzia, which means go ahead and take it. In other words, you can take it to yourself because, the majority are goyim, and Reb Shimon and Elazar would say, oh yeah, if the majority are going, for sure take it, because even it belongs to Yid, then what? Then he was miyash. However, ba'asura ba'ano, you're not allowed to benefit from it, enjoy it, you're not allowed to do anything with it. The Gemara is going to ask later, so what is it worth for? I'll take it home and do what? And show my kids throw it down the toilet, the chinuch session. I'm not sure allowed to even keep it as a shmonza. It's also no. I'm not sure. Asur ba'ano may even be also for decorative reasons. So, with all due respect, I'm not sure. For Israel, however, let's say Israel came, v'nosen ba siman. Listen to this. Israel came and said, look, came Israel with long payas and a long beard, and what? And he told me, yes, look, this chavis in the bottom of the barrel, it says, there's a picture of a little, I don't know what, frog. Yeah, v'nosan ba siman, he gave a siman, muteres b'shtia lemoitzo. The one who found it is allowed to drink it. What? Why doesn't he have to give it back to him? You know why? He doesn't have to give it back. You know why? Because the person was miyash already. The Jew, now he came and gave me a siman, but it's a race over here. Since I found it, right, after we assume he was miyash, Reb Shimon Elazar is the name of the game over here. And he says once he loses something in the Goyish city, he gives up hope. If his yush was before I found it after it was yush. Yush is I'm saying with a lot of hesitation is almost like hefker. Lamaisi can take whatever, yush after yush. Now his yush is undone. Too late. I caught it first. I caught it after your yush. Yush being undone is too late. Your yush was undone. You gained new hope, which is very nice and very, wow, very inspirational. But that happened too late after it was in my hands. So I believe you, it's yours, and I can drink it. I can drink it. Why? Because the mice I know belongs to it. 1 second, please. We're not yet even in the punchline of the question. Keman, who does that entire story follow? Reb Shimon Lozo, right? It's Reb Shimon Lozo. Why? Because according to Chachamim, we don't know. According to Chachamim, even if you found something in the middle of Tokyo, middle of Beijing, you still have to return, or at least potential if you're a bonon. So Reb Shimon Lozo cares about majority going Eden and all that. Shmami no, Kikom Reb Shimon Lozo, Barov Knainim. You see what? The story of Reb Shimon Lozo was in a Goyish place. Because we just portrayed the case here where it's Goyish. If you found a barrel of wine in the middle of Beitar, then mashma, then you cannot take it. Don't touch it. No, so here we are. So we can be poishet and answer the question. Thank you for your patience. Answers the Gemara, no. Could be Reb Shimon Lozo himself would say his rule, would rule and apply his rule even when the majority are Israel. Could be that even if you found it in the middle of Beit Shemesh, most people are Jewish, still, of course, Lefir B'Shem and Lazar, could be that you don't have to return and you just keep it to yourself because people don't believe in humankind. It's such a busy place. There are tons of Ganovim there. Who is the author of this statement? It's Rav Asi. You have to always remember the names. The Rav Asi is the one who Sober Lakavose Bechode, Upoligalei Bechode. Rav Asi never actually signed a contract with Reb Shimon ben Elazar. He's not his son-in-law and he's not his worker in the law firm, which means Reb Shimon ben Elazar believes, Rav Asi thinks like Reb Shimon ben Elazar in one thing and not in the other thing, which means could be that Reb Shimon ben Elazar is extreme and he believes regardless of whether it's Baltimore, Bnei Brak, Tokyo, or Tel Aviv, wherever you find it, keep it for yourself. Gezun teheit, says Rav Shimon Lozer. Says Rav Asi, my name is Rav Asi. Hi, I live in Eretz Yisrael. I'm an Amoira, and I believe him halfway. I believe in that concept of take to yourself and enjoy it, and the person was miyash in a busy place. Only when it comes to Goyim, when it comes to Eden, I don't believe him. It's very good. It's legitimate. He goes with Shimon Lozer halfway. How could he? Because it's Rabbanan. He goes halfway with him. Halfway with the Rabbanan, and never signed a contract with him, and that's very good. You're very patient. We'll just get to the 2 dots. Please be nice to me. I have a question for you now soon. If this chavis is forbidden to enjoy in the Reisha, because we think that the one who lost it was Chun Chan Chun, that's his wine, Metzia, the Gemara says, take it home and enjoy it. What do you mean enjoy it? I can't do anything with it. I can flush it down the toilet. Thank you. Now, excuse my language, but that's I know such a story. A guy got from a goy, very expensive whiskey. Not whiskey, like brandy, something made of wine, brandy, or something that's originally from wine, brandy. Yeah. So he threw it down the toilet and he showed the kids it's very expensive, but we're moister nefesh and we don't use it. It's also bano. Better, good. So what can you do with it? What do you think? He can be in hand. He can be in hand at all from the wine. He can't sell it, can't smell it, can't do anything with it. Marvashi lekankono. You can use the kankan. Maybe that's what you meant, Rabbeinu Peretz. You can actually use the kankan. What's the kankan? Here's the kankan. Look how nice. That's your ulpan. That's what I want to ask you. What about the bliois? You can take the kankan, which is the jug, enjoy the jug, empty the wine into the toilet, into the sewage, take the jug, and the jug you can use. I think you can use the jug. I'm now being very smart. You can use it to keep your coins. No. Okay. Because the question is that the Rabbi and I have a question. Excuse me. I want to explain to people online. We have 5 million views. Why can you enjoy the kankan? It's made out of cheres, which is clay, out of wood, and it's balua. It's full of the absorbed tray for wine. So the rabbi agrees with me that you can use it for your dry stuff. No? Yeah. Welcome. We are in Daf Chaf. Where are we? Daled Amud Beis. Chavdal Amud Beis, about 10 lines from the top of the page. Good. mean the two dots of Chaf Dalid Amud Beis. Yeah. So now, on the same subject, another story. Ahu Gavra, there was a man, the Ashkach Arbo Zuzi, he found 4 coins of Zuzim, the Tsairi Bestina, they were like, I would say, tied up, bundled up in a like a rag and cloth, yeah, like a piece of cloth, and inside the cloth, which was tied, which was bundled, which was yeah, inside you have some coins. 4 coins, Zuz is quite expensive. The Shadu ben Al Biran, and they were thrown in the bottom of the river of Biran. Okay, so now you found something below in the bottom of the river. Maybe it was a scuba diving. He found it there. Now also Lakamei the Rav Yehuda. He came to Rav Yehuda. Omerlei Zil Achriz, go and announce it. Go and announce, even though he found it in the bottom of the river. Now rivers. Last time I checked, most rivers, where do they end up? It's a pasuk in the Novi. The rivers, they go to the sea, right? They don't go to the sea, like, to the beach. They flow into the sea, right? The affluence of the river goes into the sea. So we made the Gemara. Sorry, it's one of the people of the shir, by the way. So don't be angry with me that I'm answering, because it's one of the participants in the shir that's online. Omer le zil achriz. Frag the Gemara, the zuta shilyam hu. It's zuta shilyam. Remember the halacha which we learned about 4 times already? What's zuta shilyam? Something that would naturally be washed away into the sea. Everyone is meyash, and I don't have to return it, right? Because the person was meyash straight away. So I don't have to return something that's lost with what I would call a natural catastrophe, or the tide, the high tide, the low tide, the river. I don't have to announce. So why did Rav Yehuda say that he has to announce it? Listen to this now, unbelievable. Answers the Gemara. This is a lesson Lahavdil in history. Shiny Nahar Biran. Nahar Biran is different. I'll tell you one word in English, or 2 words. Nahar Biran, you'll be amazed to see, was very, very well maintained. It was a very, very well maintained river with a whole system of what? Of dams. There were dams in the river in order to catch the fish. And also, they also would have a system of making sure that the river flows nicely. Although there are dams in certain places, they would also always make sure that the bottom of the riverbed is low enough so it should flow, yeah, and go nicely into the sea. And they maintained it all the time, like a very modern Western country. The river was very well maintained. Yeah. So now, therefore what? So what? So good for them. Came in the matkil, because in Nahar Beiran, there are a lot of dams in the middle, and it's nitkal. In other words, that gets stuck there. That thing of money, even if it's not heavy enough, let's say, to fall all the way to the seabed, to the riverbed, lamaisa, even if it flows, it would actually get stuck in the dam. Therefore, lo miyayish, she's not going to be miyayish. Also, as you're going to see soon, there are people who periodically, regularly would maintain the river, right? And they would find all kinds of objects, and would they return it or not? $1 million question. Frag the Gemara, all very nice, but Baruba Kananim Ninu. Oh, but you see, most people there, it's all very nice. What a nice modern river in Bava, and really anything there would get stuck, right? And therefore the person is not miyash, but most people are going. Ruba Knanim over there. So what does it help? Shmami no. That is to say, Lichora, who's not, that's bad news for. Ein alocha ki Rab Shimon ben Elazar, a filmo of Knanim. You see that Rav Yehuda gave a psak against Rab Shimon ben Elazar. Rab Shimon ben Elazar, yeah, even in the most kula version, at least when it's Goisha majority, for sure says not to return. Let's remind you what Rab Shimon Elazar said. He said, you have a city, a very busy area in the city, the marketplace, the highway, you don't have to return. The question was, did he speak only about a Goisha place or also Jewish? But at least he spoke about a Goisha place. Here we see Biran is heavily populated with a Goisha majority, and yet it's all very nice that they found it. Who's going to find it? Mackenzie and McKinley, not Mackenzie, whatever, the Bavel people. They're going to find it, the Goyim. So you see, Allah is not like Reb Shimon Elazar. Because Rav Yehuda says you do have to return. It says Rav Yehuda the Poisek. Answers the Gemara. Listen to this. It was Jewish business. Shiny Nahar Biran. Nahar Biran is shiny. What's shiny? Different. The Yisrael Sachrulei, the Yisrael Karulei. All maintenance of the river was by Jewish hands. Oh, wow, wow. like the port in Salonika before the war. In other words, there was a Jewish monopoly over the river. All the workers there were from Eden. Like which other industry in America? Something? No, no. What? Diamonds. I was going to say. I wasn't sure. Yeah, okay. Like in Belgium. No. Sachru means secher in modern Hebrew. Here's your ulpan for the day. Secher is a dam of a river or whatever. Yes, secher. Samech chaf reish. Ischor is to make a dam. Yisrael sachrule. The Yisrael are the ones who stop it, who make those stoppages, and Yisrael also do the other maintenance, which is to I think what it means is they would lichrot, they would dig under the what's the names under the secher to make sure that there is a flow. They would somehow keep a balance between stopping the water partially and also maintaining the flow by doing kriya. So now, and therefore it's all hidden. So now listen to this. We always say when you find something in the goyish place, there are two questions. Maybe the goy lost it, and maybe if the yid lost it, he thinks goy found it. Says the Gemara, because the Israel are the ones who built the dams, they're Emu Misrael Nofal. I assume it fell from a Jew. As he was working, we assume it fell from his pocket when he was working in the middle of the river. Yeah, who else goes to that deep to the river with money in his pocket? That guy, the one who works there, it fell from him. The Kevin Yisrael Kavule. Now, the one who soicher, the one who did the dam, why isn't he Meyash? Because he knows that the next group of workers are also going to be Jewish. There are two teams, the soichrim and the koirim. So the one's Karule, loy Meyash. It was lost by a Jew. It's completely with Jewish hands. All the anti-Semitic newspapers start saying, why is it that the Jews are controlling, the river of Biran? But that's stuff. That's the way it was. Okay? Mimela, you don't have a raya. You don't have a proof for what you're saying. The majority of the people in that particular area are Jewish. And therefore, Anaf Kamina, the majority of New York City, all what 5 boroughs are not Jewish. I don't think so. But if you find something in the middle of Williamsburg, most people in Williamsburg are Yidden? Yes? No? No? A lot. Another majority? Where do you have majority of Jews in New York? Where? Borough Park? Borough Park. Flatbush, Borough Park. You find something in Borough Park? Monroe is not inside New York. State, I said city. I know a little bit of it. The kids are, so you find something in Borough Park, a chandelier in the street, then what? The fancy chandelier, what do you do then? You have to assume it fell from Eid, and they're not Miyash. As we see over here, it doesn't only go by the general city, it goes by the location. Yeah, what about Stamford Hill? Same thing. Shma Mino, very good. Good. Continues the Gemara. Rav Yehuda, another story time. Rav Yehuda, I guess it's the same Rav Yehuda as before. The Shakil the Azil Basra de Shmuel, he would Shakil the Azil, would like continuously walk. He was walking along. That's how we say it in English. He would walk along behind Mar Shmuel. Yeah, Mar Shmuel was the Rav of Rav Yehuda. Beshuka de Beit Daisa, in the shuk of the cereals. There was a special market where they would sell all kinds of grains and cereals. Yeah, chitim, sa'orim, yeah, for Daisa, for the cereal or for the porridge. Omerle, that was a shuk of that. Okay, it's a very busy place, says Rashi. It's an especially busy place. Everybody wants cereal for the morning. So Mimela, the Sarkin, everybody would be there in that marketplace. Omerle, Rav Yehuda asked his Rav Mar Shmuel, Motzukan Arniki Mau, if in theory I would have found an Arniki, a wallet over here, a wallet, a pouch with money, what would be the halacha in a busy place? Omerle, Harei Shaloi. They would belong to who? To the finder keeper. Well, who would agree with that? Reb Shimon Elazar. Is the majority of Jews or goyim? I don't know. But it sounds like the wind is blowing towards Reb Shimon Elazar. It's a very, very busy place. I can keep it to myself. Boy, Sol, Venoson, Basiman, Mau. Now, what would be if Yisrael comes and gives a siman in it? Omerlei chayv la'achzir. That doesn't make sense. What did he just say? We learned all along that if you find something in a very busy square in Tokyo or Tel Aviv, Bnei Brak, that's another question. Obviously, the whole chiddush is that there is a siman. That's the whole vort. If the thing has no siman, I can take it anyways. That's kitadalid. The whole vort, the whole chiddush, the whole shtick of today's Amud is, even though there's a very cute, interesting siman, still, nevertheless, I don't have to return it because it was meyash, because the majority of goyim are goyim. Now, what are you telling me? If a yid came and he gave a siman chayv la'achzir, no. Mapitom, as we said before, if I found it And I highly, highly assume, even Abaye style, I assume it's Yush Midas, because the old Goyim was Miyash. Now the guy has this renaissance. Now he has this new revived up. Go home and jump in the lake. I got your stuff before you revived your Yush, right? When you were still Miyush, I found it in the Gosha place. I'm not going to give it back. And therefore, he's giving a contradictory psak. At the beginning, he said, I can keep it to myself. Oh, but it comes with the siman, I give it back to him. You think I'm asking the question? No. The Gemara asks the question with one word. You have to remember the word tarti. What does tarti mean? Two. Two means you're saying two different things. Make up your mind. Yeah, you're saying two contradictory things. Sir Lashem, Sir Lazazel. You're saying two different things. You say, I don't have to return, then I do have to return. What's going on over here? Da 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 da. Here comes a huge, not huge, long, but going to throw a big bomb over here, which I mentioned before. Omerle, he told him, Lifni Meshur Sadin. Wow. Lifni Meshur Sadin is what? Above and beyond the letter of the law. How do you say in nice English? You know what Lifni Meshur Sadin means? Which means by the letter of the law, yeah, Mr. Brown. By the letter of the law, you don't have to return it. But Lifni Meshur Sadin, which means if to do better than you're supposed to go beyond the letter of the law, it's very interesting. You mechuyev to do it. Because he said chayev. But that's a very strange thing. Either you chayev. One second. Oh, my question is. Oh, lichoy lefnim mishur sadin is a how can you say it's a chiyuv? The whole word of mishur sadin means that do more than I'm obligated to do. So Lemaisa, one answer is that lefnim mishur sadin is something you have to do, but the level of chiyuv is below. Nafkamina Beis Din cannot force it. Which means, let's say you found something in Gosha city, you can take it to yourself, enjoy it. A Yid knocks on the door and he gives you the siman. You have to give it bedin shamayim, because Baruch Hu wants you to give it. If you don't give it, I don't know what will happen to you in Olam Haba, I'm not sure. But Lamaisa, Beis Din cannot force it. He cannot schlep you to Beis Din, they will laugh in your face. That's the whole idea of Nimishur Sadin. It's not a din which can be judged and be actually executed in human tribunal, in Beis Din. If you're mechuyev to give back the real chiyuv, you can take in Beis Din. Yeah. Let's say the guy found it not in the business street, he found it in a side street in Bnei Brak. Listen to a good example. Everyone agrees that if it's a side street in Bnei Brak, so it's Jewish and it's not a very busy place, yeah, and there's a siman, of course you have to give it back. Let's say I take it and I say, no, I'm keeping it, I'm not giving it back. No, the guy can take you to Beis Din. It's a chiyuv halacha. But Shenkin, in this case, when there's no real halachic chiyuv, the chiyuv is more like ben adam l'makom. It's a chiyuv like, is that what you meant? A shkafik. It's like a moral chiyuv, not to be judged by Beis Din. It's your own chiyuv to do as a person, not vis-a-vis the judicial system of Beis Din. That's the little which I understand here. Taisa says a lot of things here which I didn't go into yesterday, but that's the basic shot. And Gemara proves the point of the Gemara proves the point of Lifnim Mishur Sadin with another story, and that story is also up to Machlokas Rashi Tosfos. Kiyod Avod Shmuel, the father of Shmuel, Ashka Chan Chamri b'Madbera or b'Midbera. Shmuel's father found a few donkeys in the midbar. Yeah, interesting. He found donkeys that looked like they were lost. Okay. And he gave them back to the original owner, to the real owner. He did a chroza. He got the chamoirim, the donkeys, back to town. Yeah, riding whatever. And what adrinu lemarayu lebasar treis ariachishata. And it was after 12 months. The question is, what do you mean after 12 months? Yeah. And after 12 months, you don't have to return an Aveda. Soon we'll see what that means. Lifni Meshur Sadin. Again, he found those chamoirim, and let's read in Rashi. Yeah, Rashi says that Basar Treisar Yachishata. One word in Rashi, Metzaom. He found them. I don't know how he knew that. Maybe he knew that the guy lost them 12 months ago. Good. Oh, as I'm explaining it to you, I get it. I understand it better. Shmuel's father knew. He knew that those chamorim, those donkeys that he found in the midbar, he knew that they spent 12 months already in the midbar. Okay? You can ask how. Maybe there was a rumor that somebody lost that amount of donkeys, yeah, around the midbar, and he found them. and he knew that the loss happened 12 months ago. Yeah, okay. Now, me'ikar hadin, as we'll see later in the Gemara, you don't have to return an item which was lost for 12 months. Yeah, why? Because it says the pasuk in Tilim, "Ha'isi kemes nishkach, ha'isi kechli oved, nishkachti kemes milev, ha'isi kechli oved." I was forgotten for people's hearts like a mace. You remember? I'm sorry, excuse me. You remember a mace for 12 months, Kaddish 11 months, the year, right? And the kli, I'm like a lost kli. A kli, we assume a person after 12 months is ready miyash if he was lost for 12 months, and therefore he doesn't have to return it anymore. Mikra adin. Shmuel's father did return it. Why? Because he went lifnim shur sadin. I'd like to see. I'm not looking at Tosfos now because this is the last year until after Sukkot, by the way. Yeah, no way, between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. I have the sheet to only do the Sukkot stuff after Yom Kippur. So I'm saying we'll meet again in Mitzvah Hashem either a day or 2 days. I'll let you know after Sukkot. So I prefer to finish this piece of Gemara here so we don't come back to it, after 2 weeks time. So let's continue for now, and then if we have time, we'll do Tosfos. Rove, another story. Rove v'shakil v'azil basri de Rav Nachman. Rove walked along behind Rav Nachman, where Beshuka de Goldoi, in the shuk of the Goldoi are the leather makers, the tanners, the leather people, leather workers. Yeah, okay, the leather men. The Amrila Beshuka de Rabbanon. And some say in the shuk of the Rabbanon, in a place where Rabbanon would walk around, or Rabbanon would have their shops, Talmidei Chachamim, they would also own businesses, Dafka in the past. So there was a shuk where Rabbanon were very, commonly would walk there a lot. Amar lei, motzakan arniki mau. What would happen if you find an arniki over here? Amar lei, reilu shaloi, you can keep it. Very interesting, you can keep it. Wow. Even though it's a Jewish area. Interesting, right? In other words, he definitely thinks that even though it was lost in the Jewish area, even in the good area of Rabbanon, not everyone there is Rabbanon, by the way. There's Rabbanon and other people, but I assume it's a Jewish place, unless the Goyim come by from the Rabbanon. I'm not sure. In any event, it somehow falls under Shimon Elazar's rules of finders, keepers, because it's a very busy place. Boy, Sol, Benoson, Basim, and Mao. Same question as before. What would be if after I found it and I show my wife the beautiful finding, and comes at Yid, knocks on the door and gives a simon and says, "Hey, mister, it's mine." It has a green little leaf in the left corner under the letter A. No, interesting. He doesn't go lifnei mishur sadin. This is minhadin. He does not believe what we said before lifnei mishur sadin. He says, "No, you keep it." You tell the guy, "I'm so sorry." You can make a nice smile, smile to him nice and say, "I'm sorry, it's mine." Why? I found it when you were miyash. How do I know you were miyash? Shimon Elazar. He was lost in a very, very crowded place full of ganovim, whatever. And therefore, what? It's mine. Now you're looking for it. Too late. What about the Mishra Sadin? He's not holding of that over here. In this case, he doesn't say. Frag the Gemara. This guy screams. Doesn't mean scream. In other words, he strongly claims the one who lost. This is mine. Yeah, this white baseball cap has a little green inside with letter A. Answers the Gemara, it's as if he screams and shouts and shows his sorrow about his house that already fell and about his boat that sunk in the sea. In other words, it's lost case, which means, again, as I told you, since you found it, you're the finder, you found it when? You found it after his yush. You got it. It's like hefker. Now he wants to, undo his yush. First of all, too late. You undid your yush once it's in my possession. That's a different story. I want to tell you halacha l'maaseh. Not that I know so much halacha l'maaseh. It's not halacha shir. But when I prepared the entire parak, I looked in the Shulchan Aruch. I decided to be naughty and cheat and do the other way. Look at the Shulchan Aruch before I start. Shulchan Aruch says throughout all the cases that you don't have to return because there's no simon and no this and no that, that if you know who it belongs to, you do have to return. One exception is possibly, again, I'm not a person halacha, I'm telling you general ideas. Let's say you found a nice amount of money, a nice amount of money. You found something valuable. The one who lost it is very rich and you are low poor. The one who lost this is poor. You can really, really enjoy it. The guy has, doesn't have much to eat. He found a very nice, cake, whatever, bread in the street. Let's say the bread, has no siman, shel nachton, but that somehow we know it belongs to the guy. The guy who lost it is rich. He has more bread than you can imagine. Then, of even lifnim sadin, the poor guy does not have to give it to the rich guy, because that's the Kosh Baruch Hu is mischasha. I don't have to be extra nice in the cheshbon of me and my family. Ad kedei kach. Again, this is only something I saw at a glance at the beginning, just to give you a taste of it. Obviously, if it's something you have to return, min hadin, then regardless of your financial situation, you have to give it back. Daven to Hashem, b'zchus that you'll have more money. Quick question, because I want to get to the story, and then I want to get to the two dots, and then yeah. How dayo? I want to remember from my childhood. The dayo is a bird. Yeah, dayo is a bird. Rashi says it's a vulture. Ooh, strong, yeah, from South America. How dayo? The shakil bisra beshuka. He took a piece of meat with his beak. He took a piece of meat from the market. The shadye, and he threw it. Betzanyasa the beba marion. He took a piece of meat and he threw it. He flew with it all the way to Bar Marion. Bar Marion was a rich guy. He's mentioned many times as a person that had many orchards. And he threw it in the orchard of Bar Marion, the piece of meat. Also, what are the halachic questions that come to mind? How many questions come to mind? Svei, right? Is it kosher, or does it belong to somebody else? He came to Abaye. Abaye was a poisik. Take it for yourself. Enjoy the meat. Yom Tov is coming. Erev Yom Kippur. Good. Go ahead. Go and eat it. Oh, you see what? The majority of people were Jewish in that time. They knew there was a Jewish market. Okay. Shmatz mino. That is to say, from here I can derive. You see, halacha is like Reb Shimon and Lozo, even if the majority are Jewish. And yet we see, forget about kashrus for now, mitzad ben odom lachavero, mitzad shavas aveda, majority are Jewish, and you can keep it. Oh, so let's now decide, be poished to sofek. Answers the Gemara, no. Shiny dayo, the kezuta shel yam dami. Dayo is different. If I am a nice human being, and I'm civil and nice, and I find it in the streets, then maybe, and everybody else are civil, and maybe there are a few gonovim here and there, then maybe if it's human beings who are involved only, maybe in that case, Rabbi Shimon would say, don't keep it, be machriz, because when it's a Jewish population, Jewish area, he did not lose up hope. But it didn't lose hope. But this is a violent vulture, a bird, that takes it all the way up to Shemayim. Of course, the person is going straight away, like Zuta Shalyam. It's like the tide of the sea. It's like the fluence of the river. It's gone forever. It's a black hole. It's like a shoided. It's like the government taking money. There's no hope to seeing it back. Mimela, that doesn't reflect anything on Reb Shimon and Lazar. Everyone would agree to that. Reg the Gemara v'Omar Rav. It's a statement of Rav. Boso shenisal minayin osur. Oh, boso shenisal minayin means what? If you see a piece of meat in the street or even in your house, and there was a moment in which there was no Jewish person who watched it, and could very well be that there are goyim in the area, maybe the goyim switched it around. When you sit in the airplane and you opened your meaty meal, you went to toilet, you can't eat it again, because maybe your next door neighbor switched his tray for meal with your kosher. You want to hear another story, which is not simple at all. Let's say you order a piece of meat, you order meat from a kosher Mehadrin store, and the guy on the tustus, on the motorcycle, happens to be called Nabil Saeed, nice guy, Arab. So he was with him only, was just him, the motorcycle, and a piece of meat. Then what? It's Bosher Solomon 9. That's why it has to be double sealed. There is a solution, double sealed. Okay, good. So it should be sealed. Make sure that the meat, is really sealed with the seal of the extra, the store, whatever. Over here, there was no seal. So Mimela, how could Bar Marion enjoy the meat Lefir Abaye when that bird brought a meat which you have no idea where it came from? Answers the Gemara, Bar Marion watched it all the way, which means, he saw that bird took it from a Jewish shop, big sign, but that's the Charedis, Rav Lando, Rav Rubin, Rav Mahmoud are all machshir over there. That bird and the pieces of meat are uncovered, which they can be. It's inside the shop with all the Hasidic Jews work there. that the bird took it from there with a beak from that market stall, and Bamarian watched it carefully as it flew by, and brought it to him. So actually, it never lost, eye contact with the Jewish eye contact, and Mimela, that's not called Nisal Minayin. As I give in, that's how it was. Bamarian was a very frum balabas, and therefore it's mutter. That's why it's allowed. Weiter. A few more, question. Leonovi from the Orvim. So how did he eat from the Orvim? From the ravens. They brought him meat from the kitchen of Achav. As rosh as he was, Achav kept the kosher kitchen. There's very non-frum, but it keeps. We went to some kinos. One of the heads of Meretz in Yerushalayim, very anti-religious, all anti-religious thing. He says he keeps a kosher kitchen with basar and cholov separate, even though it's very anti-religious. Baruch Hashem, I'm saying it every Yom Kippur, make Am Yisrael. Yeah, Yerushalayim. Those from Tel Aviv, even worse. As you can see. Yeah, now, good. Are we all good to go? A few more minutes? Yes? Yeah, okay. And then in 4 minutes' time. Rabbi Chanina. Okay, we will be in the middle. I don't think we'll get to the Mishnah today, but maybe. Rabbi Chanina, story time. Another story. Rabbi Chanina motza gdi shochut. Rabbi Chanina found a slaughtered gdi. Yeah, a slaughtered kid. I mean, not kid, the animal, yeah? Just to make sure, yeah? Imotza gdi shachut ben Tveria letzipori. Between Tveria and Tzipori, he found a gdi, he found an animal which was shechted, which means looking at the outside, it looks as if it went through kosher shchita. It doesn't look like somebody banged it on the head or shot it, or maybe it looked like it was properly nishchat, yeah? That was before Islam, by the way, where they copied more or less shchita. Yeah, so if you see something shechted, then I'm not saying it's kosher yet. I'm just telling you the reality, the picture. Imagine yourself, he's driving between Tver and Tzipori in the summer, in the simanim, ben azmanim. He sees a gdi shachut in the street. How nice. And they were matir to him. They allowed him. What did they allow him to do? What? Amar bi'ami etiru lo bishum Metzia ki Rabbi Shimon ben Lozo. Mitzad Metzia, they allowed him to take it, and he doesn't have to be concerned that it fell from anybody. Why? Because of Shimon Elazar. I want to ask you a question. The road between Tver and Tzipor, is it a busy road? Yes. Don't forget, we said two places, Sratia and Platia. Platia is a town square. Sratia is a highway. Yeah, people are in the highway. Today we drive very quickly, very fast, 120 kilometers per hour. Back then, we would go on the horse and buggy. Anybody can see something on the way. Imagine yourself horseback riding. The horse can go crazy and too slow. And as you ride, people can find things that are left that fell by the side. And if they are not honest enough, and it's a very busy road, many dishonest people there, they would take it to themselves. And the person is miyash. That's Shimon Elazar. So you see Shimon Elazar. Okay, so far so good. Mishum shchita. How do you know it's properly shechted? How do you know it's kosher? Why did they allow him to eat it? How do you know? But why did they allow what? Who says the roiva kosher? The non-Jewish cities also. We don't have to come on to that. I'm not saying you're wrong. We say even better. And this is something which is the Tanya. It says in the Brisa. This Brisa will explain to us why, if you found something that looks properly shechted, you assume it was properly shechted. That's what we're trying to derive from the following Brisa. It says in the Brisa. Let's say a person lost his own gdim and tarnagolim. A person lost his own kids and his own, animal kid and his own chicken roosters. You found them shechted. Somebody maybe even stole them, but he shechted them properly. Brisa says some people can steal, but still eat mehadrin. Absolutely, unfortunately true. Yeah. So now Rabbi Yehuda says you're not allowed to eat those animals which you know are yours, but you found them shechted. Mitzad kashrus, I'll be wary, says Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Chanani, matir. He says you're allowed, go ahead and eat it. Go ahead, put the salt, do the thing, and make a nice Erev Yom Kippur meal. Says the Gemara, listen to this. We don't even have to say it's a machloikis. It is a machloikis, but we sort of reconcile. Amar Rebbe comments on both opinions. If you found those, what's the names, those shechted animals of yours in the ashpa, Ashpa is not mamish garbage. We said yesterday it's like semi-garbage. It's where you keep your old stuff that you're not so interested in. It's like, yeah, like sometimes it's a refuse. What happens when you flunked in the shchita and there's no Arab around to buy it from you? What do? You throw it in the garbage. So if you found it in the ashpa, the semi-garbage place, then we assume that the shchita did not go well. It looks like he checked it properly, but maybe there's a problem. Maybe he stopped in the middle for 2 seconds. Which said that you are allowed, that is kshemetzon babayis. Let's say you went to someone's house, yeah, he's not home, and you saw your own chicken and your own thing there in a house. If it's in a house and it looks shechted and it's a Jewish area, then we assume what? That really it is properly shechted, yeah, because we say, okay, then we'll get later. Says the Gemara, mishum shchita. If we say that we assume that the person who shechted it is a Jew, that is to say, Rubei Soal Ninu. Oh, so you see that the majority of people, like I said, are Jewish. Because otherwise, how do you know? Maybe it is a Muslim who shechted it. Maybe a guy happened to shecht it properly. Stam. He took a knife and he cut it. You don't know if he did all the right things, right? But you see that if we assume that the shchita is a kosher shchita, that is to say, majority are Jews. And yet, you're allowed to keep it. Shmat mino, we see from here. Oh, you see that what the most Israel, even if the majority are Israel, because mitzad the kashrus, we assume that the thief was Israel. The thief was a kosher keeping Jew. Yeah, a kosher Jew which stole, and you can take it even though because it was properly shechted. No, I assume the majority are Jewish, and even then you can take it. So Shimon Lazar extends his chiddush even to Bnei Brak, mamish Bnei Brak, not only to Beijing. Omarov no roiv knainim, roiv tabche Israel. No. Could be it's a city where the majority are goyim. And since the majority are goyim, then we do not say, only then we say you can keep it. The one who lost it is Mackenzie or Mahmoud or Mimamum. It's a goy because the majority are goyim. Roiv tabche Israel. The one who took it is a Jew who's a tabach. Most people who do kosher shchita are Jewish. It's the majority within the majority. Most people in New York are goyim. Most people who do kosher shchita are Jews. Because that shchita looks kosher, we have a rule which Rav Simkin can tell us in Neto Lochel Maisa, roiv metzuim etzel shchita are kosher. In other words, if you see something properly shechted, I'm not saying Lochel Maisa, mamish, yeah, if somebody shechts, unless there's a question about him, we assume that if he's muchzak to shecht already for a year or two or something, he's known to be a shechet, we assume he knows what he's doing. So if that shchita looks a good shchita, we assume it was properly shechted by Yid, but it doesn't mean it belongs to a goy. Yeah, it belongs to Yid. It doesn't mean it belongs to Yid, excuse me. Belongs to a goy. Most people are going there. 80% are going. Kosher shchita, or what looks like kosher shchita means, a Yid shechted it. Maybe the Yid stole it from the goy. Maybe the Yid was ordered by the guy to shecht, and the Yid shecht where he knows. Not that he had to do kosher shchita. In other words, if you're involved with kosher shchita, Mr. You're Jewish, you may can eat it. But the owner, no. The owner of the actual behemoth may be a guy. The majority are goyim. And that's why Shimon and Lazar allowed it. What would Shimon and Lazar say if majority are what? Are Yidden? We don't know. We don't know that then he would also allow you to take it. I'll be Ami. Okay, let's just continue till the Mishnah. It's a good place to stop in the Mishnah. Very similar story. Pargios are the young spring chicken, or pargios are like small, like gozalot. The pigeons? No. It says pigeons, the article. Pargios are the small, the baby thing. The baby chicken. There are 3 different translations to pagit. My wife is a professional translator. She translated a few menus for good restaurants. Depends what's pagit. There are all types of pagit. There are 3 ways because each pagit means something else. The kids are a young chicken. Also, Ravasi came to Ravasi. The Amil came to Rabbi Yochanan. Some say that he came to Rabbi Yochanan to ask the question, can I eat it or not? Those nice chicken which I found shechted betver letzipoiri. The Amrile Beimidrosho. Some people say that he asked a general question to the people of the Beis Medrash, to the assembly of Chachomim. The Amrulei, they told him, Zil shkol anafshach, and you can actually take it to yourself. Go ahead and take it yourself. Why? Either the majority are goyim. So Avad or Shimon Lozer would say, take it, goyim, but it looks like it's kosher. It looks like the way it looks like a good badat shochet has been to it. How come? It's a question. Lamaisa, the shchita looks good, so it is good. The ownership is of goyim. Or maybe Reb Shimon Lozer would say what he says, even in a majority of Jews, you can keep it to yourself. Yechol but we don't yet know. Now, and what mitzad the shchita? Kosher shchita. Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha Ashkach Kibura, the Azlibe is Luye. Yeah, he found a kibura. He found like bundles of the threads of the hunters. The hunters, they have nets, right? And they have some kind of special threads for the nets. And he found a bundle of that in a place, the Azlibe is in a place where many people are walking, in a place where there are lots of tzayodim. Many hunters, they go to a certain place. They have their own gathering place. There are many of them there. He found it there. Also, he came to Rabbi Yochanan. He came to Rabbi Yochanan. They told him, you can take it to yourself, either because those hunters are goyim, or maybe even if they're Jewish, because it's a very busy place, and the hunters would like to, some of them at least, would love to steal their competitors' chutim, the competitors' nets. Immediately you can take the net, as long as you don't get too involved in the internet. Yeah, take the net and go home and enjoy it. So now, no. Give me 3 minutes. Welcome to our shir. Now, I just want to mention that, and I'm saying this online. Thank you very, very much, people, for being an amazing crowd. Really, all of you, each and every one of you, contribute a lot to the shir in your presence, in your question, and everything else. And I really love to see you, and I love to see you every day. So the Gemara in Maseches Shabbos, Daf Lamed something, Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, I think, says that the first question I'll ask a person, and this is I'm saying Erev Yom Kippur style, the first question I ask a person who gets to Olam Haba. As scared as we are from Yom Kippur, this is just like a temporary din for this year. Also for Olam Haba, they say, comes to Olam Haba, then comes the real judgment day of each person. And the first question out of six questions that they ask is, or the second, did you set time to learning? So what does it mean? Did you learn, right? It means to say, did you learn Torah? No, it doesn't mean that. No. Kavata itim l'Torah means what? What does kavata mean? Did you fix time to Torah? In other words, the Chofetz Chaim says, and many before him and after him, there's learning Torah, which is the most important mitzvah, and there is likba itim l'Torah, which is what we're here to do every day, Baruch Hashem, is to have a set time for learning. And having a set time for learning is a very important thing, which we will all be judged, and I'm scared about that. Because if you cover the Torah, that is to say, the Torah is more important than anything else. Kavata itim Torah means, did you have the fixed time, and that time that you fixed was more important to you than any other time. Doesn't matter whether it's Amud Yomi in the morning or your Mishnah in the evening. You do anything possible and everything possible, every creative solution you find in order to always make sure that you come. If you don't come, you are on Zoom, right? Or you listen right away. But the kviyus, that being here every day is kavua, that is the most important thing. That's a tkiyas shoifer. You know, it's tkiyas shoifer. Litkoa means to blow. Litkoa means to stick. Like litkoa mesmel. Takua means stuck in your heart. So let's have a Kabbalah for the new year that we do our best to imagine yourself this year. I want to tell you one thing about missing shir, yeah, in a positive way. Not because it's my shir. There are many other shir better than me. I'm saying conceptually about Torah. Imagine yourself, really, try to imagine yourself what we're going to sing in a few days in Simchas Torah. Yeah, we learned it in Gan. Imagine yourself that this year was a session in which you gain, every year you gain $10,000. Imagine yourself that, okay? And then your next door neighbor calls you and tells you that he's really good friend of yours. He tells you that tomorrow morning will be the engagement of his granddaughter. So maybe you really should go to the engagement because it's going to be hurt. The question is, would you miss a $10,000 gain for attending the engagement of your next door's granddaughter? Yes or no? That's a question. Let's try and just refocus and see it that way. Again, I'm impressed with really the way that people do come here with serious nefesh. and I just hope we'll be even more kavua and more steig in Torah, finish Nezikin Bezos Hashem, hope maybe we finish Metzia this year, and finish entire Nezikin, and be oile, go more and more. I want to ask you very strong mechila on so many things. I'm like eaten with guilt about one thing I want to tell you. Sometimes people came to me after shir and they say, why do you use certain examples? You know, they're sometimes sensitive. You should know the examples I use, unless I tell you that I use it bedafka, most examples are something we just imagine off the cuff in that second, yeah? It's nothing personal. Like if somebody, let's say here, has very bad math, yeah? Let's say somebody here is from Tel Aviv and he's very, very bad in math. Just imagine. And I give an example that Chaim Yankel, who lost the star, you know, he's terrible in math and he came from this. I don't mean anything in person. In other words, really, really, I'm never trying to chas v'shalom shtoch anybody, be personal, just the other way. The examples I use are stam from the fertile imagination, nothing to do with anybody. And I really, really love each and every one of you. And thank you very, very much for being an amazing, amazing, amazing group of people who are dedicated, who are nice, who are fun, who are supportive. And I bless each and every one of you for a very, very good, healthy, and prosperous year. Thank you very much. And if you do want to tell me if I hurt you in some way, you can come to me now after shir. Tizku l'mitzvahs. Thank you very much. Goyach.